welcome back to another episode of Happiness Matters, the show with me, Beanie Man, and Mo the service dog, who is laying somewhere around here, and he probably will be barking when somebody walks by the window. So he is here. So welcome back to another episode. And today I have a new friend here, it's Eli. I pronounced it
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And I should have written down your last name. I think it's Delaney.
Delaney, yes.
There's hope for me.
Yeah. Well, here's the fun thing about it. We're having a great old conversation before we even started the call about coffee and donuts and all kinds of stuff. And nobody cares about the name. It's about the relationship. It's about having fun.
Exactly. And that's what I love. So today you're actually going to talk about the importance of building those relationships, personal as well as professional, right?
Yes, most definitely. From a business standpoint, the biggest thing for me was I've started my business 29 years ago, something like that, a long time ago. Really shows, yeah, so something like I'm a lot older than I feel like I am sometimes, which is good, I guess. But I realized as I was doing that the relationships are what makes the difference for a business to grow.
Right.
You're going to get anywhere you want by the people you meet. And that's kind of been a big thing for me. But it also, we know about relationships for personal, but a lot of times I think we take those relationships for granted. And so that's been a big thing for me lately, both on the business and the profession or on the personal side of things. And I kind of started what we call the Meet Cool People movement. And the Meet Cool People.
Oh, Meet Cool People.
Meet Cool People. And it's all about having better relationships with the people that you meet, because we have some of the most amazing people. You and I were talking about coffee shops and things like that before we started this. And I have met some of the coolest people standing in line at a Starbucks.
Right?
Yeah. And
absolutely.
And I have, a great example. I was flying from Miami back home, and I was in LA at the LA airport doing a exchange thing. And this kid behind me, I just started talking, and he's in the military. He was getting stationed going over to Korea. And we ended up totally hitting it off. We got connected on Facebook, and we still talk. And that was 6 months ago.
Nice.
We still have conversations. I see what he's doing and make sure that he's safe. And then he comments on some of my stuff on social media. And it's kind of cool. It's like you have this just random stranger you have a conversation with. The next thing you know, you can actually have a great relationship with them.
But you know what they say about strangers, right? They're friends we haven't met yet.
Exactly. I like that one.
So, yeah. No, that's awesome. But I agree with you. It's like I meet the coolest people everywhere I go and just by starting up a conversation, whether it's the waiter in a restaurant, the barista at Starbucks, or somebody in a line, or just anywhere. When I look at people and I smile at them, it's like, hey, I hope you're having a great day.
Yeah.
It stops them in their tracks, and they're like, what?
What? I agree.
Hope you're having a great day.
What's really funny was that is after a while it actually became a joke, just a thing to see if I could catch them off guard, where barista would come in and like I go up to the line, and I'm like, they're like, how are you doing today? What can I get for you? And I'm like, I would like a mocha. How are you doing today? And it stops them. They get confused because they're not used to people asking them how their day is going.
Right.
And what's really funny is a lot of this stuff it's basic communication skills, but somehow we've
communication skills? What?
Yeah, somehow we've lost a lot of it. And I don't understand really where we went wrong with that, because
I can tell you.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Right there.
Yeah. So, and that's a big thing. Part of the Meet Cool People movement too is because of we have these wonderful pieces of technology, and technology was created, especially electronic technology was created so we can make lives easier and be more connected than we ever were in the past. And we are more physically, we're more connected than we ever have been in history, because I can, so you're in Colorado, I'm in Portland, Oregon. It's not uncommon. Yeah. It's not uncommon for me to have conversations with people in 3 different countries in the same day.
Right.
Because we have this wonderful tool called Zoom. We have these wonderful pieces of technology. The problem is that what ends up happening is that we get sucked into the technology, and we spend all of our time going like this, and we forget to look up and talk to the person right there in front of us.
Yes.
I had a friend of mine a couple months ago, Honorary Corridor. She's a author, and she helps other authors get published. She's an awesome, awesome gal. And she posted a picture of a couple sitting in the little cafe, and they're both sitting there on their phones like this, not looking, not talking to each other, not looking at each other. And she actually posted this picture and said they've been like that for the last hour. And that's just, it's very sad. And so everything, when I created the Meet Cool People thing, it started with me as a speaker traveling to other places. And I tell people I go here because I enjoy coming and hanging out and meeting cool people. And that's how it started, and actually became a movement. But a part of that movement has now moved to that paying attention, being more aware. As a matter of fact, I even have these cool little wristbands that I had created that say hashtag Meet Cool People.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That
and
is
of course,
so cool.
Yeah, they got to have the purple on them. But the part of the kicker with it is twofold. There's actually three things. One is to bring awareness of what it's about, because there's so much to it. But there's actually, the biggest thing is you wear it on the hand that you hold your phone with, because it's a reminder. If you look at your phone and you see the wristband, go, okay, should I be paying attention to the phone, or should I be paying attention to the person sitting across from me right now?
I like that.
Yeah,
and guys, that is so cool. I think you should get one of those.
Yeah, and I, if people want one, feel free to reach out to me. Reach out to me.
I want one. I want one.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I probably need some for my kids too.
Okay, send me your address. I'll get you some. And that is one of those things. I don't just throw them out to everybody like you see a lot of times, and you have a bunch of wristbands that you'll never do anything with. Right. I actually say, okay, if you want one and you promise to wear it, I will get you one. Because you have to do it for the purpose of the reminder, to make sure that you're paying attention to the people, your friends and your family, and they're right there across from you. And the second thing is, it's also, you wear it with the words facing away from you, because then it'll grab people's attention and it starts conversations. I've actually given mine away multiple times to people that I just happen to meet at coffee shops and various places.
Oh, very cool.
Because they thought they saw it. They were like, what is that? Because they could kind of sort of read it because it was facing them, and it's grabbed their attention, started a conversation. And next thing I know, I'm like, well, here, why don't you go ahead and take this one?
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that. No, I love, no, and it's really important. And I remember, it was a few years ago, my husband and I, we took the kids to the movie theater, and while we're in the car, we're one of those people, my husband was driving, and the kids and I, we were all texting each other. Mm-hmm. My husband was laughing so hard. And of course, us being us, we all laughed. It's like, but Dad, the family that texts together stays together.
And it's funny, because we have become that way. And there are certain points, it used to be like a joke in our house. Now we live in a 2-level house. So it was the joke that, if somebody's in one of the bedrooms, they would text somebody downstairs, because they're not going to go downstairs and they're not going to yell down the stairs. Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we've done that too.
And, it was always the joke. They're just like, okay, we're still in the same building, yet you still have to text me to say anything to me. But now you have that where people are actually in the same, in the same car or in the same room right next to each other. Yeah. And that's the part that I think we've taken it a little too far, where we need to put the phone down and have real conversations, because for a couple of things, especially for our kids' sake, a lot of kids have a hard time actually socializing, like physically socializing, because of the fact that they're behind a screen so much. And so that's where a really big thing is. I've noticed that some of the most intelligent isn't necessarily the right word, but the most, I guess, socialized kids that I've met that have, they can come up, they can shake your hand, they've got that confidence to them, are people who their parents said, okay, yeah, you can have a phone. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to learn to actually say your words at the same time. And so,
I like those parents.
Yeah. And I just met the coolest kid last month. He was like 14. And I would not have guessed it. I would have seriously thought he was 21, because he's also pretty tall. So he doesn't necessarily look like he's that young, but intelligence wise and the way he spoke is so not cocky, but confident in himself. And he was totally comfortable around having real conversations and actually very, very high level intelligent conversations with people of all ages. It just blew me away. And I found out he's 14. I was like, wow.
Like,
yeah.
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 That is awesome. Kudos to his parents for instilling that.
Well, and his parents take him to a lot of seminars and conferences and stuff like that. So that has a lot to do with it, where they put him in an environment where he's going to be able to thrive like that. And I think that those are a really good thing to do. I mean, I did the same thing with our daughter. I took her to conferences. And at one point when we were doing seminars, she actually taught one of the sections of our seminars for us.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, because I wanted her to have that skill. And, she was terrified, but she pulled it through. She did a great job. Everybody in the audience loved it. Because they also she was great at teaching them. And from that, she's actually learned. She still doesn't want to be a speaker, but she has that skill. She can pull it out there when she needs it. And she can definitely, she's an introvert. She's a hardcore introvert. When she gets done with work, she wants to go home, hang out with her cats, and read a book, and that's it. Stay away from anything.
There is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I love hanging around people. And I also love my me time. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I think a lot of people, like, I've done a lot of studying on introvert versus extrovert personalities. And the biggest reason I did was because I had people coming to me saying, I think what you're doing is so great, but I could never do it. And I'm like, well, why not? And so I started talking to him about it. Well, I'm an introvert. I could never get up there and talk in front of people, or, I just don't understand. You could just be standing there and all of a sudden you're talking to people and selling them stuff and they're buying it. And I'm like, well, it's, you have to realize I'm an introvert too. The difference is that I took the time and I learned the skills of communicating better with people. And the cool thing about it is that
learning the skill.
Yeah, because that's all it is.
We can do anything. We can learn anything if we put in the effort and put in step forward, and
exactly.
Yeah, I can do this.
Yeah. And that's the fun thing about it, is that it is all a skill. As an introvert, I know so many introverts that are just amazing people, but they're great in especially one-on-one conversations or small groups. They just get really uncomfortable in big groups, which I totally understand that. I'm that way too. But I actually have a set of processes. Like I created a course on networking because of the fact that I had that problem where I was uncomfortable getting in front of people and talking, or going to a networking group. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to eat next week, I need to sell something. Therefore, I need to figure this out. And that's how it kind of started. And that whole course, I created it for introverts in mind. I'm like, here's the thing. Don't walk into a room of 100 people. Show up 15 minutes earlier and walk in when there's only 5. And then there will be 6. Then there will be 7. And you'll ease yourself into more people. But
that's
at the
really
same
good
time,
advice, because I do a lot of networking here too, and I'm part of the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce here.
Okay.
And one of the things that we do, I'm actually on our foundation board. So the foundation board members and our chamber board members, and as well as our membership committee, we make it our mission to walk straight up to the new person that looks kind of lost.
Yep.
We're like, hey, I'm Beanie. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. What's your name? What lights you up? Let me introduce you to some people. And we just start introducing them, and it's like instant icebreaker.
Yep.
And it makes a huge, huge difference.
And the cool thing is when you do that, and the fun thing is, as an introvert, so that's a scary thing, but if you look at them, you're looking at a person who's probably more scared than you are. So therefore, you're in a safe space to be able to do that.
Right.
But here's the thing that makes it even better is when you're the person that does that, they will remember you for life. I've actually had that where people came up to me 10 years later.
Wow.
And we're telling me, it's like, you know what, the reason that I follow everything that you do and the reason I'm your customer is because you walked up to me that very first event that I went to, and I was scared. I didn't know anybody. And you made a point to walk up to me, ask me about myself, ask me about my business. And then you introduced me to somebody else that could help me out.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it is for everybody who's in business, this is the coolest thing in the world, because what it does is it turns around and it takes the pressure off of the sale, because all you're doing is you're building a better relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them forget what you do, but you don't have to shove it down their throat. It's all about, okay, so I'm Eli, I'm an automation guy, I'm your email marketing guy, but what can I do to help you out? What do you need? Who do I need to introduce you to? Because that's what's going to stick. Exactly. And then when they go, you know what, I need to get some email marketing stuff done, they're like, I need to talk to Eli. Because of that first bit already. That's what's actually happened. It's the building of the relationship. It's going to come back at some point.
It does. It comes back tenfold usually.
Exactly.
I'm in awe, because when we moved to Colorado about just over 10 years ago, and that's when I started networking.
Mm-hmm.
And I so didn't know, because I never learned, and I did it the complete wrong way. Hey, this is me, who I am, me, myself, and I, and buy my stuff, and I really don't care.
Yep.
I've
learned. Some people never learn better than that either. So the fact that you did is awesome.
I just, because I was like, my thing is no guts, no glory.
Yep.
And ask none, get none,
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, I've learned, because I met some amazing people, great mentors and leaders in the community, and they're like, hey, Beanie,
mm-hmm.
you might want to approach that a little bit different.
Yep.
What do you mean? I was like, but and they're like, so yeah, you can do it your way, but how has that been working for you? And I'm like,
right.
Oh, okay. I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
I started to listen, and I started to watch, and now I get to share with others. It's like, you're not going to make any sales that way.
Yeah.
You might get one in a bazillion, but you're wasting your time.
Yeah. And you might get sales, but it's the weak-willed sell, as opposed to a strong base relationship sale. And those are what I want right there.
Right. Absolutely.
I want people to come to me because they know that I'm the best, that they trust me. And that's a big thing with it is know, like, and trust. We've all heard that those three words, right?
Yep.
But if you think about it, those three words are in a very specific order for a very specific reason. Know, like, trust. Well, they have to get to know you before they can decide whether they like you.
Yep.
And then once they like you, that's when they're going to start trusting you. And I have found that, literally, like, doctors and lawyers are the only people in the world that can get away with the trust and not liking. The rest of us, we have to work a little bit harder.
We have to work a lot harder sometimes.
Yeah. But it goes back down to know, like, and trust. And if people can't get to know you first,
mm-hmm.
they're never going to get that opinion as to whether they like you or not. And therefore, it makes it harder for them to trust you. So,
right. Well, don't we form the opinion whether or not we like somebody within, like, the first, 3 seconds of meeting?
Generally, yes. And sometimes, I will actually challenge people to stop and think about that, because we do. We judge people. It's that whole don't judge a book by its cover, but we do. We know that. That's how my bookshelf is huge, because I had a lot of books that had pretty covers on them.
That's what I do with cookbooks.
Yeah. But the one thing that I do find is that I got to a point, because I was conscious of that happening, and I actually started stopping and going, okay, I need to stop and take a step back and decide, is this a gut instinct not to trust that person? Or is this me not liking them just because of a quirky personality? And so a great example of this, and I can share this publicly because he knows this, is a person that I've partnered with, and I do a lot of work with in Miami, and I speak at his event quite a bit. And if anybody follows me, you'll find him. But when I first met him, now he dresses very Miami Vice. And I'm just, the first time I met him, like, I'm not so sure about this Miami Vice dude. I was much less PG than that, were the thoughts in my words. But I'm like, I don't know about this guy. I stopped, and when I actually talked to him, I was like, something in my gut says I should still pay attention to him. I should see if I can build that relationship.
Always listen to your gut.
Yes. And that turned into what ended up being a great friendship. And I go almost every month and I speak at his events, which is a nice trip. I coming from Portland, Oregon, all the way to Miami. Yeah. So it's a long day. But I love doing it. I have fun with it. Yeah. Yay for airplanes. But that changed because I stopped and I challenged myself to like, give this person a chance first. And when I did that, it totally changed it, and it worked out for the better for both of us.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot too. It's like, I remember, so we're a military family,
okay.
and a lot of times my husband is like, oh, you need to meet these people. They're really great. And I meet them and I'm like, yeah, no. And he gets so mad at me sometimes, he's like, you need to give people a chance. And I'm like, fine, I'll give them a chance. And then sadly, my gut instinct was right.
Mm-hmm.
Burned, and I'm like, you're gonna listen to me now?
Yeah.
And then my kids now, they're so sweet. They have learned too that mama knows. Mm-hmm. So they run the new girlfriends by mom if they pass the mom test.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, but I mean, it's just seriously, listen to your gut.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure it really is your gut and not your ego.
Yes, that's huge. That is huge.
That really makes the difference. And I still do that check, when my first, I mean, if everything, the hairs on my back stand up and my stomach goes in a knot and everything, I'm like, okay, that's definitely my gut, literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're not going to be friends, But if it's just like, whatever mood I'm in and I meet somebody, it's like, okay, put your ego aside, girlfriend, and give that person a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is a big piece of it is make sure that it is actually a true gut feeling versus an ego. Because I've seen that multiple times. I have another friend of mine that, he admits the first time he met me, he couldn't stand me.
Oh, and I get that a lot too with people. Cause I'm like really I'm loud and in their faces. So
yeah. Which is really funny. I'm not that way. But something we didn't click right at first. And I think a lot of it was actually it was ego, and it was he and I were competitors at the time in business. And that was why
that installed, you're my enemy.
Yeah. But it was funny because then he did the exact same thing. He did actually give me a chance. And he realized that I'm not really competitive. I mean, it's like, business is business, and I'm going to do the best I can. You do the best you can, and whoever the client decides is a better fit is the person they're going to hire.
And here's a fun fact on that whole competitiveness thing. There's enough for everybody.
Exactly.
There's enough for everybody. It's not that it's like, oh my God, just because we're in the same field, we can't be friends because, there's not enough clients. Guess what? There's so many. There's enough for everybody.
Yep. And that was, he and I ended up becoming very good friends. And that's where that kind of stuff comes in when we give ourselves a chance and we give other people a chance. One of the things that I find personally is I make sure that I'm available to talk to people. So it's a very important thing for me.
It's also very approachable.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Very approachable.
And I pride myself on that. I really do, because to me, that's important. I want people to feel like I may be an expert in what I do, but that does not mean that I feel like I'm better than anybody else. I'm just better at doing this thing, and it's a very different attitude behind it. And
sometimes to me, I mean, for what I do, it's like maybe not better, but different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes there's a case with that too. Yeah. But that's one of the things for me is like, for me, I have my personal site. I have a spot where you can book a call with me, and it's not about, let's have a strategy session. It's about, let's have a chat.
I like
let's
that.
See what's going on. If we can help each other out, awesome. If I can help you, great. If I have somebody that can help you, great. If we just hit it off and become friends, great. It's all about just having a cool conversation. And that's where it goes back to the meet cool people. A lot of it is I'll tell people, I'm like, I want to get on a Zoom chat with you because I just want to meet you and find out more about you because I like to meet cool people.
I love meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
we can learn so much
Yes.
from other people. And I love to people watch because, I mean, there's a lot. It's like with the military, you know, there were a lot of functions that I had to go to because I was the wife. So I went into my zone. I mean, I was friendly and everything, but mostly I just went people watching.
Right.
Because you can learn so much just by observing.
Oh yeah. Go to a Denny's at 2 a.m. It's the best time of the day.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
You know, anyway.
No.
But I mean, it's just, I mean, and my thing is like, I love people, you know, and when I usually tell people, it's like, oh man, I love you. And I remember a while ago, somebody looked at me and they said, well, Beanie, you love everybody. And I was like, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah. So
I know, right? It's like, is that a bad thing? No, but I mean, I love humans in general. I love human beings. And I say it a lot too. It's like, I don't like everybody, but I do love everybody.
Right.
You know, and it's like when you come from that place of love, you start at a whole different level with a person.
Yeah.
You know, and you never know where that other person is coming from either. You know, what they're going through, and just having that person coming from a place of love, even they don't know me from Adam, but that warm smile, you know, and maybe a hug, it's going to make all the difference for them.
Yes, definitely. Huge. Well, and that, you know, those are things for everybody watching this. The next time you go into a grocery store, a coffee shop, whatever, smile, say hi. And when they give you your food or whatever, say thank you.
Yeah.
It amazes
genuinely
me.
Say thank you, not just an automatic well, thanks, you know.
Yeah. But even, you know, it should become automatic. I think it should become automatic to actually be grateful and actually share that with people. I find
genuinely automatic.
Genuinely automatic. I like that. Because I always find that it's so funny because I've had people who at a gas station and you know, there's a guy in there and he just had a bad day and he looks kind of grumpy, but you smile at him, joke, you know, just a simple little joke and say, thanks a lot. Have a good day. And it can completely turn them around instantly.
You know, when we go to restaurants, I tell my waiter, thank you so much for being here today, for cooking our food, for bringing it, and most of all, for doing the dishes.
Nice.
I was like, I appreciate you so much.
Right.
And that right there, I was like, ask anything you want.
Mm-hmm. It makes a difference. Those little things of just saying thank you so much, appreciate, you know, showing actual appreciation.
Right.
It really
being genuine. I mean,
yeah. And it's not that hard. It really isn't.
No.
And I find that I have the best experiences with people that way. I've met some amazing people, and again, you know, I'll go back to the business point. I have the running joke of the fact that I've sold stuff through the drive-through of Starbucks before. And
that's awesome.
And it's because of the relationship I build with the people. Mm-hmm. It's not because I'm a pushy sales guy. It's because it's about the relationship.
You have the relationships and you're genuine and you don't have to be pushy.
Exactly.
It'll just happen automatically. People were like, you know what? Yes, this person can help you.
Yeah.
And, you know, this person, I mean, even though I may not have hired them myself, but there's something they said that made a big difference for me in just a little blip.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's what you want. You want to make that reaction. And one thing we can do with these wonderful pieces of technology that we have, that I tell you, anybody wants to do this to make a big difference, is you're connected to all these wonderful people on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Go on the calendar and you can see when everybody's birthdays are. Okay. This has been huge for me. Is I'll look on the list and see whose birthday is going on today. And I stop and I record a quick little 15-second video saying, hey, I saw Facebook said it was your birthday today. I just want to stop, say happy birthday. Hopefully you're having an amazing day. Let's catch up soon.
I like that.
That's it. You would be shocked the responses that I get to that. People they flip out. They're like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Thank you so much. Nobody's ever done that for me before. And it's such a simple thing. And
I like
this
that.
is where,
I should start doing that.
yeah, you should. You know, the funny thing is I tell people this and I have yet to ever get one. And I'm just like, okay, guys, this is what you need to do this because this will make an impression with other people.
Right.
You know, and I have gotten, and I'll have fun with it. If I happen to be speaking, I'll actually do that from stage. So I have a full audience there and turn around so the audience is behind me, and then
Nice.
they love it even more. And of course I did it one time to another speaker, and he almost fell over. He sent me this message, oh my gosh, that was the most amazing thing ever, thank you so much.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a big difference. I mean, I don't do the video, but it's like every day. And sometimes I skip a day, but then I wish them the next day, I wish them a happy birthday. But I go in and I don't hit that automatic button. I'm actually typing in, hey, happy birthday or happy birthday.
Right.
Put a little emoji like the birthday cake or something with it. You know?
Yeah. Well, and here's the fun thing about doing the video is you send it through Messenger instead of on their wall.
Right.
And so it's a personalized message for them. I used to do it with just audio clips before video became so popular. And I didn't make this up. I learned it from a guy by the name of Joe Polish. He did it with audio. He would send text messages and say, hey, I saw it was your birthday. Happy birthday. Hopefully you're having a great day. You know, just 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It didn't take very much time. You can literally, I mean, I've actually sat there in the car, like in the drive-through, and done these videos because I'm not doing anything else anyway.
Right.
And if I can go around and make somebody's day that much better, all of a sudden I took that wasted time and turned it into something productive that totally changed somebody's day for them. And all it did was take me 15, 30 seconds. It takes me longer to upload it.
That way you meet more cool people.
Exactly.
Because they will say, hey, you need to meet this person.
Yes. I've gotten years worth of referrals.
Oh, I bet.
Because of it. Just because of doing simple little things like that. You know, from a business standpoint, it helps. And do it with your friends, your family. You know, I've had a couple of friends lately that have had they've been through some rough times, and they'll send me a message or sometimes they'll post something and I can tell they're having a bad day, and I just jump on a call with them, jump on a video call, whatever, and just talk to them. You know, do it with your friends, do it with your family. And if you want to get better in business, do it with the people you know in business, because it will make a difference.
What a concept.
Yeah.
Reach out to people. Let's be human.
Yep. I know, it's so funny because it is so simple, but it seems to be, it's the hard one for people to really grasp. And it does make a massive difference in the relationships you have with your prospects, your clients, your friends, your family, everybody across the board.
And the other thing too is, I mean, I look around, everybody is so fear driven. It's like, guys, there's nothing to be afraid of, really.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be afraid of by reaching out and helping somebody smile, you know, helping them have a better day. Because here's the thing, you do that, watch your vibration rise.
Yeah. And that goes to one more thing
and
too, is that,
I mean, that person now can smile to somebody else because now they're having a better day.
Exactly.
That's what we could do as a human race if we do that.
Yes. And that's a big one too, is, you know, watch what you say, watch what you post in social media, stop and think about it. And I actually shared something, I think it was even just yesterday or the day before. So anybody can go to my wall and see it, but it talks about, you know, think before you post. And is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it positive? You know, I mean, these things, these 5 things with the word think. And it's so true, because it amazes me how much energy gets wasted posting negative stuff. And I don't care what your political affiliation is or any of that kind of stuff. What I care about is, are you a nice person or not? And I can even agree with you on a fundamental level, but if you're a jerk, I'm not going to support you in any way, shape, or form. And I don't want to be your friend, and I don't want to do business with you.
Exactly.
And I've had people like that fundamentally, I agree with some of their stances on things, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know, and then, you know, and I've lost a lot of friends that way.
Right. It's all about how you say it and how the other person perceives it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they are coming, we need to understand, is like, we're speaking through our own filters.
Yes.
Okay. So whatever's going on inside of us, you know, we filter out. And then the other person receives what we're saying through their filter, and they're speaking through their filter.
Yep.
You know, so if they're in a bad place, it doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
But if you say, I love you, and they're like, well, I love you, they're going to take it wrong.
Right.
But if you say, I love you, with a smile and everything, they cannot take it wrong.
Right.
No matter what their filter is.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, it's really, it's fun. It's fun. Watching, you know, when I talk to people about that and they're like, oh, never thought about it that way.
Yep.
I know, because most people run on autopilot. We're just reacting. So,
yeah. Well, and it's
that time to think, but that's a whole nother show.
Yes.
Because we can talk about that forever and ever and ever.
Yes, very much so.
Good, and you know, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, and it's about being conscious and directed about what you say, how you say it, who you talk to, and how you talk to them.
Right.
Be conscious of those things.
And smile.
Smile.
And when you talk on the phone too, people can tell if you're smiling or not.
Oh yeah. Well, and you probably noticed that I'm not sitting. I'm actually in a standing desk, because that also makes a big difference too. You can become more animated. You do tend to smile. You move a little bit more, and people can hear it in your voice. Definitely.
There you go.
Yep.
It makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. So that was awesome. Thank you, Eli. Thank you so much for being on the show, for sharing your wisdom. And I will put all your contact info in the back in the credits, not the back. Well, anyway.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It's my pleasure being here. I had a blast. And,
awesome.
You know, for anybody listening to this, you can reach out to me, connect with me. I love talking to cool people. So
that's awesome.
Let's connect.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you all for watching another episode, and hope you got some good nuggets out of this one. And as always, be happy, be kind, be loved. Bye.